Right, so I hope that made a bit of sense. If it doesn't, I'd be happy to talk about it in another video. Please drop me a message, I can tell you more. So there's two kinds of IUDs. There's one called multi-load that everybody in India must have heard of. Lots of women get multi-loads. And then there's the thing with multi-load is it doesn't contain any hormones. And then there's the hormonal kind of IUD, which is called a Mirena. Mirenas are slightly expensive. I think they cost 3,000 rupees. But the good thing with them is that all IUDs, once you put them in, they last anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So for the next 3 to 5 years, you're completely free of any worry of getting pregnant accidentally or even on purpose. There's very good return of fertility rates once you withdraw these devices. But that's a topic for another time. But anyway, IUDs are very safe, very practical, and if you're somebody who forgets to take pills quite often, then I think IUDs are a great idea. There are some contraindications, which is there are some medical instances where we don't put in an IUD, but you'll have to speak to your doctor about this. They'll run over your entire case with you. I can just give you a brief idea of what's happening. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is something called DIMPA. You must have seen advertisements for DIMPA at the local movie theatre where the government runs programs to talk about DIMPA. If you go to any government hospital, you will hear about DIMPA. And DIMPA is basically just an injection. So with an injection, they put, usually in your arm over here, they can put... They put hormones inside your body and they last for about 3 months. So with these 3 months, now you don't have to worry about taking your oral contraceptive pills anymore. And like the IUD, you're not, pregnancy-less for the next 3 years. So it's somewhere in the middle, it's very effective. And you just need to get an injection. And it works out very effectively. You don't get pregnant then. So there are also other techniques with this. So instead of getting an injection, some people get a little implant fitted here as well, which involves a very small surgery. They put anesthesia here, so this part of your arm doesn't feel anything, and they make a tiny incision and they put this implant there. Then they just dress it back up, and it works the same way as DIMPA does. So DIMPA, if you want to know the full name, for if you're having a trivia night or at a pub quiz, you can say the full name of DIMPA is dipomedroxyprogesterone acetate. But this is not relevant to you at all in this situation, so feel free to forget it. Just remember DIMPA. So I talked about 4 kinds of contraception here. I talked about contraception for men, which is condoms. There are also female condoms available, but they don't have as good user-friendly techniques. But yeah, there's lots of videos available on female condoms. If you guys want, I could do a quick video on this. I'd be happy to. So I talked about the barrier method, which is condoms. Then I talked about pills, which includes oral contraceptive pills and eye pills. I will get to eye pills in the end because I have a particular beef with them. Then I talked about devices that you can put inside your body. There are 2 kinds. You can put one inside your uterus, which is called an IUD, intrauterine device. These can be hormonal or non-hormonal. Or the last is something called DIMPA. DIMPA is the injectable injection. These are named. DIMPA is known by different names across the world. In India, it's called DIMPA. In the UK, when you get this implant, it's called a Nexplanon. Yes. So now to get to my favorite topic, which is eye pills. So eye pills are eye pill is the brand name. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using that word. I mean emergency contraception. So emergency contraception is if you've had unprotected sex within the past 72 hours, you can just have this and it'll prevent a pregnancy. Now, I don't think it's important to understand how it works unless you are very interested, because it involves some understanding some body physiology. But the problem with IPL is that people are starting to use this as regular contraception, and this is not okay. This is not meant for regular contraception, guys. This is a drug that is only meant for emergency use, and I will do a long video on why how IELTS work, why not to have them regularly. But in case you're in a problem and your condom has burst, or you had one instant of unprotected sex on a drunk night or something of that sort, I understand where you might have to use this, but please try avoiding using IELTS. They most, like, so many problems of young girls that we get who come to the gynecologist office is usually because they've had an IELTS and they have multiple IELTS because they start using it as contraception. IELTS are not regular contraception, guys. I feel like this is a topic I can talk a lot about, and I think it is of need to talk a lot about. So on Saturday I'm doing a video on cervical cancer vaccination and cervical cancer in general. Maybe next Tuesday I can do a proper video on IELTS if you guys are happy with that. But yeah, essentially this is what it is. So contraceptions were one of the most requested videos, and I hope this answers some basic questions. If you want me to do a more detailed version, I'd be very happy to do it. I just wanted to give a brief of everything, and even now the video is over 10 minutes. So I want to make quick short videos that you can watch and understand things. If you want me to talk about any particular type of contraception, drop me a message. I'll be happy to talk about it. In any case, I am doing one on emergency contraception at some point. Not at some point, next week. And in another video after that, I'll be focusing on contraception that is done only from the male end. So as you know, the burden of contraception lies mostly on women. Most of these things I've talked about, other than the oral contraceptive pill, has to be taken by women. Other than the condom, has to be taken by men. That is the only thing that has to be taken by men. Everything other than that has to be taken by women. So that's not fair, and sometimes men don't have a say in whether or not contraception is happening, or women don't get to have access to these things. So it's unfair to both the genders, which is why I will do a special video on male contraceptive methods as well after this. But I hope this is helpful to all of you, and if there's any more questions, feel free as usual to send me a DM, and feel free to send me a DM for any other ideas, any other requests you have, and I'd love to do a video. Have a happy week, and keep busting sex admits. Woohoo!